Way back to league football. It's your boy Django back again. Couple of interesting things happen over the international period. I'm gonna talk about. Yet again, we're gonna talk about Pogba because we cannot not talk about Pogba, especially after his last two performances. So I'm gonna talk about Pogba and Ole, and my opinion on Pochettino, and take a look at the team I think should play against West Brom. But I think a place to start is like and subscribe, or even leave a comment. But if you see the video, I beg you just drop a like. But what can we say? Where can we start but Paul Pogba, and especially his last two games for France? Not gonna bring the Finland into it because he played with the B team, and in a system what the French manager has got in place that suits the players that he's got. And we know Pogba don't play number 10 in France. He plays a similar role to what Paul Scholes used to play for us, sort of like a deep line playmaker. I think Pirlo used to play that late on as well at Juve. But Pogba is effective in that system. So what you try telling me now is that Solskjaer cannot find a system to fit his players in. That's what basically that's saying to me. I don't know about anybody else who wants to take it any other way, and I'm not one to come to be here like pitting Bruno and Pogba against each other or nothing like that. Both play for United, both United players. I'll support them both. Clearly Bruno is the more consistent player and perform week in week out almost, and Paul Pogba is the man with the ability. But like Ravel Morrison, ability without consistency and performance on the pitch is nothing. It's a waste of time, which is why I don't think it's down to Paul Pogba, which is why I think it's down to the system that the managers that have played. Because Mourinho tried playing him deep, didn't work. Put him in number 10, worked. I think he finished with 12 goals, 16 assists. Might not be the exact figures, but it's round about there. And that was still to date his best season. Solskjaer's trying to play him in the pivot, not working. And I don't know if I wouldn't say it's because of Paul Pogba. I'm saying it's the people around him, meaning in central midfield area. Because when Bruno, Pogba and Fred play together, to me I think they play pretty good together. When he plays with Matic, I think Matic is too slow to complement Pogba and Bruno. I just think he takes that extra touch too much and holds the ball a little bit too long. Then Fred, like I said, Fred does misplace passes, but that's because as soon as he gets it, he's trying to release it to the, let's say, the better players. Let's just say that. We won't say the better performance, we just say the better players, the players with more ability. But where Matic does slow the game down, which sometimes can be good, but not in our team, because our team don't play in a way where we can keep possession. We like to turn over and transition fast. So I don't think playing Matic would complement Pogba. But I'll get back to the team anyway. I'm just saying, if Pogba is performing like that, yeah, 95% of the time when he goes to France in a system with good players. And you can't say less. For example, Rashford or Marshall plays for United, Bruno would be like Griezmann. So you can't say he ain't got good enough player. It's just I don't think the system suits him, and I don't think Pogba helps himself with some of his performances. Like some of his plays too casual, misplacing pass. Maybe at the start of this season it was because he was unfit. Maybe these 3 games with France has done him a lot better, a bit more sharpness than that. And we can go again. But Ole really has to take a look at himself now, because you know there's managers in the shadow. There's a couple of good managers there, like managers with better CV than Solskjaer. So he knows he can't mess up right now. He can't really slip. So it's either he's gonna have to find his best team within the next couple of games, or put a run together. Cause otherwise I can't. Personally, to be honest, yeah, I know sometimes man come on there and you're frustrated and that and you say certain things, but personally I don't think Solskjaer will get sacked till the end of the season. I think he'll see out I think this is his last year, if I'm not too sure. I think he'll see it out, or he'll definitely get to the end of the season, I feel, unless results don't improve. And personally, what he done after the Everton game, rating for that. Don't let the FA and them try bullying you and that. That's a start. Now that same energy, I need you to aim that same energy at Woodward and them for not buying you the players, and then everything will be good. And with Poch on Poch, regardless of what people want to say, or Poch might come in but he'll get the same treatment as the other previous manager, I don't think so. I think Poch is coming into a better squad than the previous 2 managers. I think Poch plays a more attractive football than the previous 2 managers, and he shows that he can work without money and bring youths through better than the previous 2 managers. But like I said, I don't think you should. I said it before the start of the season, and bad result might have swayed my mind a bit, but I do think after Solskjaer's start to United career and what he achieved last season, I think he deserved to see out the contract, or definitely deserve this full year. Yeah, we might suffer as fans for it, but you gotta bear in mind, when Solskjaer took over as interim manager, we was in the sinkhole, and if it wasn't for a poor transfer window, like, all United fan I knew was buzzing coming into the season. But other than that, if we can get our string a few good results behind us and that, which Solskjaer normally does, then the season can still be a good season. And I know, like, there's a few tough games coming up, but I don't really worry about Solskjaer when it comes to the big games and that, because he seems to find a way to win them, or majority of the times anyway. Don't know how he does it, but he does it. And the fact that he's not lost the dressing room is another reason why I think there's no point getting rid of him right this minute. And I do think he deserves to finish out his contract. But like I said, he has to get his team selection right. And I don't care what anyone says. In my opinion, Pogba has to start in our team. regardless, especially after his last two performances. What you gonna do? Put Paul Pogba on the bench? Makes no sense. I don't care what anyone say, especially against West Brom. Now, if you play him against West Brom and he's Maka, then by all means drop him again. But it's got to be Pogba. But then again, you know, against West Brom, I wouldn't even worry. That's the honest truth. I put all my best ballers into a system that I think is effective enough. Shouldn't be a game where you should be panicking and think this game, United should really win this game. No defensive mistake, which, to be honest, since them early few games, the defense has kind of sorted itself out a bit. And I'm glad to see De Gea back to nearing his best, because he's nowhere near his best, but he's back playing some good football. Can't say nothing. Or keeper, whichever way you want to look at it, because there was a lot of idiots who wanted to get rid of a keeper who's so experienced, who's been there and done it all, for someone who's only had a loan. And I'm not trying to discourage Dean Henderson or anything like that, but he's not De Gea, and it's period. And to be honest, we don't even know if Dean Henderson can even handle the pressure of playing for United. But yet you'd want to put him in that position so early in his career. Like, it makes no sense, man. But anyways, nothing negative, because I do think we'll win about 3-0, 3-1. But personally, I would love to see Solskjaer do this. Whether it'll work or not, it's another thing. I'd love to see him play this team, especially against West Brom, where we should have most of the ball. And I say should, because it don't happen a lot. And I think this system would work well. I know it's a bit peak putting Bruno that wide, but I think Bruno could play this role just like our Mata play it. But the only thing is, Mata is left foot, so when he does come in, that was the only. He's quicker, more agile. He'll chase back. You know he's disciplined. Bernard Silva plays it, and Riyad Mahrez play it. Riyad Mahrez is not that much faster than Bruno, even though Riyad Mahrez has got them saucy feet. You get me? And Van den Beek give us different, like, mobility in there. Like, his movement off the ball is probably the best out of all of them players there. Off the ball movement, probably. I'm not saying it's definitely, but it's not even a long shot. I would put his movement there. Maybe Mata, but Mata is gone now, but his movement is definitely the best in and around how quick he moves about. And I think that would help Pogba too. And surely these two's got a benefit with these three and the pitch passing to him. Pogba, Van den Beek and Bruno. I know Scotty ain't done nothing to deserve getting dropped. Like, he's one of our own. I rate Scott. A lot of people don't give him as much credit as he deserves and talk about Declan Rice and all that. He's just as good, in my eyes anyway. Like, football's opinion, but Scott McTominay's just as good, and he's a United kid, so he'll always get credit from me when it deserves. But he's definitely a good player. We know Shaw's not going to start. I'll put Williams there for now, because I don't know what's going to happen with Telles. But I'd like to see United line up like that, even just against West Brom, just to try it, because you got your ball players on, and Pastor Fred does his thing. Can't drop Fred. And I think that would be, on paper, that's definitely our strongest team. Like I said, you put Telles there if he's fully fit, or if he, whatever about that COVID thing. But on paper, that's our strongest team, and I've not seen that team. I don't think he's played that team, especially with in them positions. Because you can't tell me Pogba can't play there, because he plays there for France with Kante next to him. And over the last year, Fred's been as good, if not a bit better than Kante in what he's contributed to his team. Not as a player, but what in contribution and what and performances he's put into for his team over the last year and a bit. I think Fred has been better. You don't even have to play Donny there. You can put Donny there. You can even put, not there, no. You can put, you could do that. Because I'm tired of people saying Donny's a number 10. Donny can play centre midfield just like Paul Pogba can play centre midfield. The only difference between playing air and air is what Bruno and Pogba's got, is to just create something out of nothing or turn around and just shoot from 20-30 yards. You've got to be able to produce sauce when you're in this position. That's all I'm saying. That's the only difference. Where here, you just have to take care of the ball. That's it. In my eyes, that's the only two difference in them playing them position. You have to have finesse and techers to play these positions. Not that I'm saying Donny ain't, but I just think Pogba and Bruno are more suited for the 10. But I really do think Bruno can play from there. And I think that's the better setup, because these four will press. You want to call Marshall lazy, but when Bruno's in the squad with him and that, he presses, because when Bruno goes, Marshall goes. Them four together will press the ball a bit more than putting Pogba in there. Takes Pogba a second to get going. And that's all I wanted to say. But as usual, like, subscribe, share the video, and Django out.